Guys, I just got a huge book delivery, so let's unbox this together. As you probably knew from the title of this video, yes, I got the Infernal Devices series and I'm so excited to get into it. I think it's been about a month since I finished the Mortal Instruments and I've been missing my guys. I know this series is obviously different characters, but I've been missing that world, and you know, I need to know what happened between Magnus, a certain shadowhunter that we know nothing about, and a mysterious warlock that is not Magnus. So we will be starting with Clockwork Angel, of course. And to be honest, I don't have much to say, so without further ado, let's go straight into it. Alright, so the action takes place around 130 years before the Mortal Instruments. That means it's happening in 1800s, specifically 1878. So I like the feel of it being like a bit older vibes, like more distinguished in a way. We are following Tessa, who, while traveling to meet her brother from America, is intercepted by the Dark Sisters and is taken prisoner, where she finds out that she's a downworlder and she can shapeshift. So we don't really know if she's actually a warlock or if she just has that magical ability. She's then rescued by the Shadowhunters, Will, Jem, and whoever is in the London Institute. The action is happening in London, so obviously a bit different than the Mortal Instruments because they were happening in New York, and is taken to the London Institute where she meets the gang, Jessamine and Charlotte and Henry. We don't really know much about these characters, whereas Will and Jem we kind of got to know snippets of from the Mortal Instruments. Will and Jem were kind of the characters that were being talked about because Will is a Herondale and of course Jace is a Herondale too, so he's kind of related to him. Tessa was being mentioned as a warlock that helped Clary and her mother when they were in hiding, so it's kind of all connected to them, but we don't really know how and who these people really are and what really happened. That's all I know really. So yeah, there is mentions of the Pandemonium Club, and it's supposed to be some kind of demon club that targets mundanes and wants to kill them for some reason. And there is this guy called the Magister that Tessa was actually supposed to marry, but we don't really know who he is yet. So that being said, I am really excited to find out what all of this means. I am on the 100th page almost, and I'm really liking it. The dynamics in this book are so interesting. I think compared to the Mortal Instruments, I was expecting like that found family vibe. Everyone loves each other, everyone's kind of protective of each other. However, who really is protective of each other in this book is Will and Jem. And then the other people, their relationships between them are, I don't know, maybe a little bit stilted, maybe a little bit hostile at points. There is this girl, Sophie, that works for them as a maid, and she only has the sight. She's not a shadow hunter. And Jessamine hates being a shadow hunter, so she wants to escape. Charlotte runs the institute and is only 23 years old. We just found out, I'm like almost halfway through, and we just found out that she's 23 when she's like running this institute, and she was married to Henry, who's a kind of an inventor. He's like a shadow hunter, but he doesn't really fight, he just invents things. So it's a very interesting dynamic between all of them. But I'm enjoying seeing how different the vibes are compared to the Mortal Instruments. As it turns out, Pandemonium Club is kind of like a crime gang. I don't know, there's like gambling happening, murder, torture, prostitution, and it's all done on mundanes or maybe like demons or whatever. I I don't really understand. And with everything tying every little aspect of Tessa's life and the Shadowhunters, they have to investigate it. Obviously, Nate is kind of tied to this Pandemonium Club. I think he went into debt with them. We don't really know what happened. And the head of the vampire clan is the leader of this club. So of course, Shadowhunters are like, that is breaking our rules. That is not what we signed up for when we signed the accords. So obviously they have to interfere and intervene. So Tessa, with her shapeshifting abilities, has to shapeshift into Camille. Camille is a character from the Mortal Instruments. Hi, Camille. She goes to this party with Will, who is kind of like acting as his subjugate, which is like a mundane slave to the vampires, I don't know. And basically they have to witness the crimes because that's how the accords work. Like, you have to witness the downworlder doing something bad so you can capture him. If you don't, well, who says he was going to commit a crime? And there at this party we meet Magnus Bane. Yay! And at this point he's still with Camille, so like they're a couple. And yeah, I'm guessing something crazy is gonna happen at this party, but we don't really know. But yeah. I love Jem, oh my god. Don't. He's just pure goodness, isn't he? He's so cute. Oh my goodness, I'm so surprised that I enjoyed this book so much. Obviously, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into because I didn't really read up on what happens in this book because I didn't want the storyline spoiled. I've had people rave about the Infernal Devices and say that it's even better than the Mortal Instruments. So I did go into it with maybe a little bit of a higher expectation, but I think it actually met them. I thought the storyline was so clever and totally not what I expected at all. Tessa being some kind of warlock but not really is absolutely such a clever plot. I don't know how to explain it. It creates this mystique and you want to find out what it means, what she actually is, and why she is wanted by the Magister and why she is involved with this dark world that she knows nothing about. What I also really enjoyed about this book is how the storylines and the characters were intertwined with the Victorian societal expectations and etiquette. Tessa not only has to overcome her struggles as a downworlder that she doesn't really know what that means, but also she has to tackle her own views of how she acts and how she feels. She has always had traditional beliefs and she thought that the woman is there to serve her husband or the man of the house, and that woman cannot fight and certainly cannot be alone with a single man. But as the story progresses, we can see how she's challenging her beliefs and these social constructs alongside getting to know herself and her powers and just getting more sure of herself. These norms also is what makes the interactions between Will and Tessa and Jem and Tessa so much more precious. I feel like this book is filled with stolen glances and stolen touches. It feels so forbidden what they are doing, even though it's completely fine. They're actually just talking to each other and deepening their relationships. I know this whole series is going to be like a love triangle between all of them. And also Magnus Bane, he comes in a little bit in this book, but he comes in at the epilogue. So I'm so intrigued as to what's going to happen. I feel like we've left on kind of a big cliffhanger. So I'm really excited for the next book. I can't really explain this feeling, but I am giving this book 4 stars. I have grown so attached to the characters already, so that's a win. A new book, a new series, and I'm already attached to the characters so much. Yeah, But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Can't wait to read the rest of the series. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!